Well, hi there. My name is Jediz. Welcome to my series 7 Days, A Warrior's Wanderings. I ran into some technical glitches, and I have multiple episodes. This will be 12 and 13 that have no audio of my conversation I was having with you guys as I was recording it. I've already went ahead and checked episode 14. We'll be back on track with episode 14. But for today, we are going to do the same thing we did on the last episode, which is combine two episodes, put them together, and we'll just talk our way through it. So for this one, in episode 12, we're getting prepared for a horde night at that point. Pretty sure I've just remembered editing one at the end of that. So we're just kind of finishing up that base ceiling. I was going to say lid, but I guess the same principle. We're trying to keep vultures out or being able to swoop in at me from the night sky. So just kind of going through, adding some extra structures up there on the top. And this is when I started creating the slope down at that point, which I kind of do like that. Like that way, I think I talked about in one of the other episodes. If not, I'll re-say it here. I didn't want to make the slope push them underneath. I'd much rather them bounce and just stay above me. And make sure that they couldn't really interfere until I like choose to, right? Like I didn't want to create a slope where if they hit it and they like moved under, and now they're trapped under. So this way, if they hit an angle, it'll kind of force them more. They'll slide away from the important stuff in the base. Just having some fun upgrading that. Had to go through and upgrade that outer wall first before we solidify it. Otherwise, we're gonna have to break it down again. And knowing resources, trees are still kind of a limited thing in terms of making sure you have enough. They're gonna attack from the outside in, so I just did those edges ones to make sure that kind of gets stayed in. Like they'd have to break their way through that outer block before they get to the soft squishy middle anyway. So I secured that and then headed out. Can't run a day without hitting up a quest, right? So grab that farm one. It was one of the closest ones. I think we're still at the tier 2. And as you can see there, I'm not sure if I noticed in the game by this point, date did turn red. So I did know that it was definitely going to be Horde Night. Kind of forced me to kind of move along. And I will say, still don't like snakes. Like they're a little bit on the challenging side. I'm not sure if they're intended to be used more with ranged weapons at that point, but I feel like an arrow is going to be really hard to hit them with. Anyways, this was kind of an interesting quest, zone. I'll probably have to, zone quest. It's POI, interest, house, whatever you want to call it. Quest objective, place. I kind of do like this room. It took a little bit to get to it though, like you saw the snakes and have to go through downstairs. And did fumble a little bit trying to figure out like how am I supposed to get in there. Didn't see any keys to open up that door. And since it's just a fetch, I guess I could have just left them in there fighting in the cage. But if it was a clear, I'm like, that's kind of weird that I have to break them out and help them. But I did, just to make sure that I wasn't surprised by them later. I did laugh that they chose to take on the normal cement block instead of the door. That was the lesser one. And I broke another weapon in the middle of a quest. One of these days, I'll get better at that. I need like a better scaling add-on thing. Broke down the cement mixer. There was no recipe in that, so we're still hurting for a cement mixer at this point. But it was just more for the supplies at that point, the metal and everything else. So at this point, I did find the satchel. That was a quick little clip in there just to show I did find it, but I wanted to keep on clearing this. Hadn't found the loot room. Also just kind of keep on exploring it. This has also created I think my next possibility for another element of the channel I think I'm going to do. Finally got my way through that. Quite a few up there. The club was handling it pretty well, and then the loot, and just kind of going through that process. Ran out of pocket space again, so had to spend quite a bit of time there figuring out like what do I want to do with all this loot. Did come across that well. That was kind of a fun, like you saw there's a weapon bag underneath there, so now it's one of those I'll have to remember if I ever go and do this quest again, that there is something in there that I need to kind of look up more. So finished that, got it cleared out. Didn't actually go back for the weapon bag because I wasn't going to bang my way out that much. And like I said, it's a horde night, so we need to keep on moving forward. Upgrade of our chest armor. rank 3 iron versus rank 3 scraps, definitely an improvement. And then just kind of look it over and see if there's anything else to pick up.
Turn down a job, you know?
So now we have another quest. Emptied out our pockets and sold some stuff to Jen. Kind of stay up on that. Came back home. Dropped off all our loot. So I kind of like that sequence of basic, advanced, and then the materials. It's easy to kind of like line them up and then just hit the kind of collapse all. I'm not sure when he showed up, but nevertheless, somebody was at the door, so we had to go take care of him. And this tree I did enjoy. I actually had to... He was in the back of the POI across from us. So I'm actually up on the cement thing, but because of the reach, I was able to knock down that tree. I thought it was kind of funny at that point, because I'm not at the base of the tree, I'm just hacking it halfway up. So sometimes video game physics aren't always true to form. But you saw how many of those blocks I'd already upgraded. I'd used up a lot of my wood. Just recollecting that as I drove by. I haven't been in this POI, so I just saw a hole, like it means a zombie at some point, but just got bored and was banging out. And I was thinking, there's a loot room in there. Maybe I could just like dive in there really quick, knock out like 3 or 4 of those zombies. The dog growling kept me away. Jumped on the truck, and there you can see the dog in the background. That's why I was kind of watching him, make sure he didn't decide to run up on me. So nothing too exciting, but got back, was able to upgrade and start working on those building upgrades. So those are the main 3 blocks, right, to keep the zombies at bay. Upgraded those to cement. And as we're progressing, yeah, it's less than day 14, but still cops were in the out of the city, and always just kind of prepared to start testing stuff, see how it plays out. I was concerned, I was looking at that square, it was like, if a cop saw me from there, and I'm not looking that direction, he'd have a pretty clean shot at me, so I'm trying to figure out what to do about that. My main concern would be if a vulture did get in, and they flap around up above me, and I don't have the time to go and necessarily deal with them, they might stuck, so I just put those wood traps, wood spikes, words are hard, in front of all my boxes, so at least it should slow them down. And if I start hopefully hearing them, I would recognize like, hey, maybe that means there's a vulture up there I should go deal with. So here I am putting up bars. That might not be the best thing, because now I'm not sure, I can't remember, I'll have to test this, if you can shoot through bars. I think you can, right? Like I could have swore I remember standing on bars shooting through them, which means cops can shoot through them. But I was just trying to find something that we could see through that they can't shoot through. And that's the goal of what I was trying to achieve there. In the process of clearing out the base up above me, I saw a weapon bag I hadn't gotten. So I went up there, kind of cleared that out. And then, since I was ahead of it, I was okay with where my base was. I was, like I said, just spending some time clearing out the roof. Looked over on that other building. Vultures, zombies, and some easy loot. And others, like, I've never come up with a rule of like how invested do I need to be to get some of that stuff out. But my main goal still is going to be finding that robotic drone schematic, and I think I knew, or at least I felt like that was going to be a power box anyways. So that's what I came up there to do, is like loot, take advantage of it. I saw it, and also like, it is kind of a fun building. I'm not sure, I'd have to look at it again to see if it's something I'd want to consider for an actual base, because that looked like it was brick for the most part. And then it looks like there's only that one ramp up. So it would have been a good base to have. And as you can see, it's about 10 minutes in, about 5 minutes into it, I realized nobody was at my front door. And that's when I looked over and went, oh, I did something. That bar... And I don't know what changed in the programming for the AI of the zombies. So I was sitting there kind of panicking, trying to figure out what is it that they were trying to do. So in possibility, I was mainly watching to see if, like, could they climb? So there's 3 high there, zombies. If they got a 4th guy up there, would he be able to jump over? Like, it'd be a long day of zombies trying to get to me by creating a 4 high pyramid. But something changed. As soon as that 3rd one broke, it changed the pathing back to normal. and apparently didn't remember my lesson of not being able to throw a Molotov that direction. So, threw another Molotov. I'm on fire. Caught everybody else on fire too, though, so that was good. Did clear out a lot of those zombies, because as you saw before I caught fire. That was a good wave of zombies. It was the first wave, and they all collected right there at the gate anyways. At the bars. So now it kind of starts singling them out, and remembered in time, apparently. Which is... It's still weird, because it's counterintuitive to me, because in terms of like a throw, like you're throwing a baseball. If you go to the right and threw from your right, it would swing around the wall better anyways. So why is it when I move to the left and throw, is that not getting caught on? It's just minor physics details, but it's just how you have to play the game, because that's what it does. And then I did enjoy that I hucked that one. I don't know where it landed, but that one threw right through the hole, so maybe I should have put it in a backstop so when I throw a Molotov, it could catch fire, the fire would drop at least, but nope, wasted one right there. Just went all the way over, didn't throw that one nearly as hard, right on that crack where I kind of wanted to kind of break, and everybody's forced to kind of run through it. So just continuation of it, of our Horde Knight base is holding up well, right? Like, so just quick check. Nothing real I need is like repair too much yet. Fire is still doing really strong at this level. Like some of that fire is actually taking them out before they even get to me. I don't know why I even tried it again, right? Like it's the exact same. On the right side, I threw it. Still caught myself on fire, but that's alright. I had to drink 2 waters. I was still thirsty. I guess it was one of those stats I wasn't really watching before I started the Horde Knight at that point. But since I kind of cleared out a wave, I kind of assumed that another wave was coming. So just threw another Molotov to kind of keep that fire on the ground, and it ran out a little bit short there. As you saw, like 2 or 3 had just fallen through. I don't know what I was checking. I can't remember what I heard or what I was thinking about as I was going through that process. That was a much better Molotov. Pretty much like 7 of them. Looks like they caught fire as they ran through. And as you saw, like 2 or 3 of those dropped from just the fire itself. So pretty good defense still, using Molotovs and fire to kind of keep them at bay on the single file line. Saw that I had a point spent, so I was just kind of, since it's a controlled environment, just kind of like took that time to see if anything jumped out at me. Would be worth throwing one into clubs or whatever. I don't even know what that throw was. Much better throw on that one. So only wasted 2 Molotovs so far. Wait, 4 Molotovs. The 2 that caught me on fire and the other 2 that I just hucked into nowhere. But overall, still enjoying this base design concept, forcing them to jump up and down, using those poles. I guess maybe considering how slow they do still trickle in, maybe putting in poles wouldn't be so bad. To kind of keep on encouraging them to actually make that run around, because I think even if they could get stacked up there, there's still enough space for them to run too wide across that or whatever, and if one ran faster than the other, it'd probably push one of them off at that point, even on a pole, on a square pole. So just kind of things to kind of consider for future series builds and everything like that. So just kind of, those are the processes, just kind of looking at it. So past midnight, almost 1 in the morning. Still controlling them. As you can see, the waves are kind of getting smaller, right? We're now down to just 4 of these guys that are like making their way in and around. I'm not sure if I necessarily noticed it at the time, but watching this on replay definitely makes it a lot easier, and like, you're calm. You already know the outcome of this. So it's just, interesting. There's way less in these waves that are still coming through. So this wave picked up. We're back up to 5 or 6, so that's, I mean, that's good. Because for me, some of the point of Blood Moons are the XP, right? If you can kill all those zombies, it's a lot of extra zombies that you're going to have to kill to get out. But yeah, there's not too many. I saw that one zombie Lady of the Night zombie. And nobody else is coming around. She died from fire. Fire just doing his role and keeping my base safe. Me and my base safe. But not a lot of... So now we're back down to one running around. Where... I don't know... Like... Oh. This is when I do figure it out. Because now it's 1:30. You can still hear the music. You can still hear the thump. It's still trying to be pressing, stressful. It's not calm yet. So where did they go? Like maybe I missed a dog. Maybe there's a vulture that I need to kill to complete the wave. So now we just run the path. We just kind of keep on checking all these corners to see if there's one trap somewhere. I do take this time, might as well, since I'm that safe, just go and get it all looted. I still don't know the official timing on those bags, so I always, since I'm a loot fiend, I don't like when the loot disappears. I don't know what point if I heard something that I went, maybe they're over here, but it's where they were. Clattering away inside that square brick and enclosure. And now I'm kind of stuck too, because I don't want to necessarily like help them break out yet. I still need to control them. They're running fast. They're hitting hard. They're blood moon zombies. Was able to get rid of them from above. And I cleared it, right? So there goes the cricket sound. Everything's calmed down. The upbeat tempo, I'm not sure what we call it. The blood moon music, definitely downplayed. And so now this is just re-securing everything, keeping my hammer downstairs, put the cement, wood, cobblestone for those repairs that I can grab, the Molotovs. The main reason I broke that one down initially is it does officially block the storage box, so I couldn't get to it unless I went all the way to the other side, around to the side. All those other ones I could have because there's that open bottom, but still, like, that's not usually the side that I'm looking at. I'm like, vultures didn't get in, and might as well. It's wood. It's one of the easier resources to actually farm up and just remake those. So now we're just kind of ending the night, making sure we're killing off time till 4 o'clock. Chime hits, so now we can end the day. It is funny whenever people forget about that, and so they get to do 2 blood moons because they log out and it restarts up, and then kind of restarts it. Knowing I had a new 4-day window, now's the best time to kind of go exploring. So had the trade route quest, so headed out to go see Trader Jen number 2 Trader Jen, however you want to call her. So biked out to the desert, grabbed a tier 3 quest.
Do hurry.
I know when I was recording this was definitely talking about like how I felt like this was the bear POI, because it's not a POI I've done often. I've seen it more from others. So this is my first probably run through playing it actually. It was actually pretty fun, kind of well designed, and I do enjoy when we do have to go over multiple levels, but I guess that's part of growing from 1 to 2 to 3. Tier 5s have all those extra levels. But yeah, fun little escape route. Which is, I guess, foreshadowing. We'll use it again. I did enjoy the synchronized brothers right there. I thought that was a very classy move of them to die almost in sequence too, so it was very thoughtful of them. And now this is when the heartbeat picks up, because this is the bear POI, 2 bear POI, and 2 zombie bear POI. So you can see the other one on the left there still glowing under the red lights. And I was hoping that they wouldn't have been a part of it, so I was like, alright, we'll just do it with a zombie, see what happens. There's a big red dot, moves, that red dot goes away. I also break my weapon again. I guess I used it a lot from the Horde Night the night before, never bothered to fix it. But there's 2 big red dots still on the map, and they react to the bears. I was able to get one of them taken care of with a shotgun, and just when they destroyed the other one. I think I was going to try to stay on that ledge to keep them on that level, missed the jump, and then just decided, nope, that is not the time to take that chance. Finished all the way back around, and as I was doing this to kind of like, maybe he couldn't figure out how to get out of there, I see him running around on the bottom. So he's escaped. He is now on the loose. He's a bear on the loose. And apparently, he's taking advantage of my hitbox as much as I was trying to take advantage of his hitbox. So, swiped at my feet, tickled my toes, and I was in pain for it. So once I killed that last bear, was able to clear out the quest. So now you can see the quest is clear and the looting can begin. Good start on that first box. 2 books I hadn't read. One of them was definitely an add-on I was looking forward to. And then Shotgun Messiah. Stun Baton. I checked to see what it'd be worth. I think it's going to be a neutral. It's going to be like probably less than 20 differences in swag bucks between that. So I kept it whole just so I can like repair it and just sell it at that point. And then day 13. Right on time. There's the airdrop. So tag that to something to kind of head out to. Don't really like that placement. I did retouch that placement up. Came back. That was a coyote that I could hear in the background as I was kind of looting. Tier 6 fire axe. Definitely something appreciated at that point in the game. I was about middle of tier 3 for everything, so I'm starting to see some of that improvement. Some of it might have been I was in the desert, right? It does change the loot base loot, game stage.
Now that you have some
Remember the
money
official
to
thing. I
spend,
just blanked on
we're
what they
running
call
a
it now.
10% off sale for the
Was able to
rest of the
pick up
day.
tier 4 baseball bat, so an improvement on the wood club, and a tier up on the wood club too. So I was definitely happy to kind of get something like that to help my melee damage. New trader means there's new equipment, and was able to find a forge schematic this time. So now don't have to spend that skill point. Definitely frees that up from that perspective. Now we can start making our iron, keep up with our repair kit production, things like that. Made that switch. Tier definitely definitely works out better. Got to test it on a zombie right away, and it worked out. And then as I continue on the way home, something quick and light, and also another test for the baseball bat, just kind of see how it feels. I was able to clear this out. There wasn't too many bad guys in here anyway, so it's definitely the quick kind of raid that I wanted to. Also the army truck, sometimes it pays out and has some pretty decent loot in there. So 1, 2, I think there's like 3 upstairs. Normally I would probably just jump that point, but since the other 2 were already like traps, like, you know what, let's just play it safe. Let's just enjoy our time. And we'll just put in a nice set of stairs so I don't have to stress on it. And try to do a Super Mario jump and not like be mashing B when I jump. So baseball bat's definitely handling the bad guys. There's one that falls. Finally cross over the line. Tippy toes crossed and triggered the rest of the other bad guys awake. Nothing too exciting in that. The hunter mod was the big one, and some of that was a reaction to having just fought 2 bears. Let's get some extra damage for animals, but blueberry pie, nothing too exciting. And then as I was venturing back to Trader Jen, I did see this building, and I did appreciate that they gave me a backdoor staircase up to this fun little area. And this is definitely a fun POI. Like, it looked well thought out and space maybe. So just kind of like looking around, seeing what could be, because it's a car shop. So hopefully there would have been like a workbench, which is what I was hoping would have been right inside that garage. But here's this nice simple staircase and 2 loot boxes. But you can see I'm encumbered by 11. I had no more loot room in my pockets for anything. So I made the mature decision, even though it was painful for me as a founding member of Looters Anonymous, to actually turn away from loot and not use it. So, good for me, I suppose. Growth. And this is where I actually make that switch. It's a 25-point difference. from the tier 6 to the tier 3 iron axe. So made that change. So slowly getting some of those upgrades. Ventured home because I grabbed a quest from her to come back to my city anyways. There's a tier 3 for the store pharmacy. It was quick, it flashed in front of us, but it was there. And I also came home and realized I could we had so much murky water, which means I could make so much regular water. Food that dehydrates me isn't nearly the negative as it could be. So made a lot of cornbread because I was still having some food issues, not being able to find enough meat. Because I just did take out 2 zombie bears, but zombie bears give rotten meat, not actual meat. So I was still hurting for food, but I had like plenty of cornmeal. So we're going the route of dried cornbread to survive. Got home, instantly put the supplies together, start making a forge. Banged out that broken square so I could put the forge in, and we can start working on our iron production. And as the night was winding down, I was just kind of analyzing and processing, knowing that I kind of set myself for a target of day 14, 15 as the time that I would be moving on. So that's what I was looking at the map there, is kind of like reevaluating, like, what do I want to move to, what's going to be the best for end game rewards, progression, questing, things like that. So with that, that ends up these 2 episodes. I did go ahead and check episode 14, like I said. We're all back on track after this, so it should be back to normal episodes. So that ends up these 2 quick ones. Now you're up to date where some of those supplies came from, why I got some of those other things, and why maybe the quest to go meet Trader Jen's already out, because I did take care of it. It's just on one of those slower days or quieter days, or I guess way quieter because my voice wasn't there. But so thank you guys for watching. If you learned anything today, or if I was able to make you smile, please give the video a like. If you'd like to, you can interact with me on Twitter. The handle there is @GDisGaming. As always, choose a positive path in game and in life.